All right.
We're back. This is episode 2.
Yes.
Part 2.
Part 2. Episode 2. Part 2 of Beauty for Ashes with Julie J. and Salentia M. Besties for 40 years.
Woo.
My baby brother came on and said, "Why y'all look so good?"
He said, no. He said, "Why y'all so pretty?" At our age, we receive that.
Yes, and look, and part of it is good nutrition, and part of that good nutrition comes from my baby brother Billy Rogers, who makes some of the best juices, homemade
and sea moss, right?
And sea moss juices and sea moss. This boy, look, I've been an herbalist now for the last 30 years, 30 some years, 40 some years, right? And my baby, he's my baby because there's 8 years between us, and so he's been a whole lot more like my son than my baby brother. We're just like starting to have relationship like two regular grown-up people, right? But he's always my baby, and he used to laugh at me, and rabbit food eater, and tease me about herbs and things like that. And then age started catching up with him, and he started changing to plant-based eating. The boy done got ripped and cut and got the body of a 25-year-old. It's truly just disrespectful.
Listen, I saw him at your wedding, and I was like,
right.
Man, you look amazing. What are you doing?
Yeah, like years just stopped with him.
It's telling you
about reversing the aging process. My baby brother got the elixirs, let me tell you.
Yes,
okay?
And I need
that's a shameless plug. Check out Billy Rogers, and he know what he's doing. Baby, put your comments about your business in the chat, okay? Because we're live right now on Facebook and on YouTube. Beauty is my name. The coming soon. Sis, I gotta say thank you. I do have to say thank you. I know we got to get back on topic, but you have no idea how you're holding my hand is changing me. That is truth. That is truth. I have wanted to do a podcast for so long. I have so much in my heart, for women and wanting women to be empowered. I really believe that it does start from the top down. I am a true Titus 2 woman, where I love, and my particular heart is like you got the kids, but I like the young adult women. I love the young adults, and because they're so well educated, they're so smart, and yet they're trying to figure out things. And there's things that society is telling them that as they step into the real woman space, where they are considering being wives, being mothers, and finding that right partner and all of that, listening to the chaos that is out here. Everything from the olden days isn't wrong and played and doesn't work. A lot of stuff does work. A lot of traditional things do work.
Still work.
And I'm sorry, don't get mad at me if I quote the Bible. I'm going to quote the Bible. Why? Because I've never found anything in it that ever led me wrong, that ever told me to do the wrong thing.
Amen.
And when people say, "Oh, but what about this part and what about that part?" It's called context.
Yes.
So the study and the process is context. And, it also kind of irritates me that, if Buddha says it, it's wonderful. If Allah, if Muhammad says it, it's brilliant. If Confucius says it, it's brilliant. His name is Confusion. Okay, I'm kidding.
Okay, no, you're not kidding. You're not kidding.
but all that I'm saying is, any of the great minds, the great philosophers, the great prophets of the world can say anything. Everybody is cool with it. The minute Jesus says it, it's a problem. And so I'm here to say there's nothing Jesus has ever told me to do that did not work to my good, because all things work to the good.
Yes.
So, and that kind of brings me to you know, how you've always had your hand at my back, always pushing me forward.
You know, my daughter, my oldest daughter, Jaska, she told me one day, Mom, you should call yourself the motivator. So that's why you see Salentia the motivator more.
Salentia the motivator more, because
and if you don't want my motivation or my encouragement, then I really do back off.
Like, yeah, like you kind of the one with the problem. You know what I mean?
And well, no, I'm not gonna say. Well, I'm not gonna say that.
That's what I would say.
I'm just gonna say I'm not for everybody. And everybody is not for me. You know, I had to learn that too, because I wanted to be there for people so much, especially my loved ones. And I realized later on that they didn't want me there for them, you know. And when I started to be so misunderstood, because creatives and people who are outgoing, I think, can be some of the most misunderstood people. Yes. You know, people don't know if you're real. People don't trust you. You know, my mom used to say to me all the time, Cookie used to say, I love calling her Cookie. Bless her heart. I know she's just like smiling on me. Yeah. She used to say to me all the time when I used to call her and tell her about some of the issues I would have with people through the years, you know, when I was growing up in my 20s and 30s, she would say to me, she say, honey, girl, they ain't never met nobody like you. They have never met anybody like you. This is true. And I would call her and I was like, Mom, I'm so sincere. I really love this person. And they are just like rejecting me. I don't want to see them hurt. I don't want to see them go through. She's like, people have to go through their stuff. Yep. They don't want to receive what you have to say. Yeah. You're making them think. You make and so
you know, and that is exactly it. When I say your hand has always been at my back, I'm not saying I've always liked everything that you told me.
Both of us, same thing here.
Same thing. I haven't liked everything you said, but guess what? When I sat back, you know, see, right is right, whether you like it or not.
I know, and it's really hard.
You always tell me the truth in love, and so that's the other difference. You know, that whole keeping it real culture, which is really just an excuse for you to be able to slam a person. Right. And not understanding that condemnation always makes the person's bad behavior worse.
Well, you know, the Bible says, speak the truth in love, right?
Speak the truth in love. Yeah. And what it causes is conviction. Now, conviction makes you want to change.
Yes.
And so.
And sometimes it makes people hate you. They hate.
For a little while.
Yeah.
And then they turn around.
Some people been hating on me for years.
I've had many who couldn't stand me, and
right.
As long as I know, because
I still love them. I still love them.
I self-check. I self-check. If I know that I have done something to offend you and I didn't mean to, I love apologizing. I like apologizing is a joy for me.
Yes.
You know, I remember mother-in-law number one.
Here we go. Yeah. That's why we came on. Talk about you.
I'm one of these ones. This is so crazy, y'all. Look, I have personally had 4 mother-in-laws with only 3 marriages. Mystery. And I'll tell you.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, because we're gonna talk about mother-in-laws when it comes to marriage and stuff. But my first mother-in-law.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let me just say something.
Yeah.
Put a pin right there.
Yeah.
This might be part 3. This might be in 3 parts.
Yes.
Because I only have 30 minutes. Well,
yes. So I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna make it quick. I promise.
Okay, go ahead.
But it was
the
just
first mother-in-law. Go ahead.
The first mother-in-law. You know, she didn't like. I was sus to her, and the story is long, and I'll tell it.
Does that mean suspect?
Yes, it means suspect. That's cute.
Okay, I thought so.
So anyway, but she, you know, we'll talk about it more on the podcast. Beauty is my name, coming soon. But for whatever reason, she did not trust me. And one day, what I did was I just called her and I said, "Can I talk to you?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, if I have done anything that has offended you, whatever it is, I just want you to know I apologize. Mm-hmm. I am so sorry. Whatever it is, I said, if you care to share with me what it is that I did, I would like to know so that I won't do it anymore.
Right.
Even if I don't know what it is and I don't understand what I have done to offend you, I want you to know that I have no intention in my heart to offend you in any way. And so if I have, I want to apologize to you.
Right.
And ask your forgiveness. Not even knowing, so many of us will get caught up in, I ain't do nothing to her. You probably didn't, but that's your perception, not necessarily hers. And it melted her heart. She said, "Oh, honey, you ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing." And from that moment on to the moment when she took her last breath, I was sitting at her bedside reading the Beatitudes to her as she went to glory. That's how much I love my mother-in-law. And we were so wonderful. So the power of apology, the power of asking forgiveness is an amazing thing. And so that's one of the first keys, huh?
This was the first mother-in-law?
That was the first mother-in-law, yep.
Okay.
Yep. And my mother-in-law now just love me to pieces. Miss Dorothy. She just loved me. She said, "That's you, my baby, too." My husband, Rick is the baby of 6 kids. Mm-hmm. And just the apple of his mama eye. Mm-hmm. Pretty Ricky, what they call him. Anyway.
Anyway, okay.
So this is leading into how I finally got it right, where even the mother-in-law is crazy about me.
Yes. So,
because my picker has been bad, y'all.
Your picker,
my man picker has been
I told you, I said, can we pick for you next time, or can we help you? Can we at least get to and give an approval on this?
Yeah.
But, who are we? I've been married 32 years. It'll be 33 years in June. I give God all the glory, all the honor, because
I've been married to somebody at least 29 years of my life.
You are so special.
29 years married to somebody.
But I tell you what, all those 32 years that we've been married, you have always been the wife. You have always been a wife and wanted to be a wife.
I am a wife. Yeah. And that was the answer to the question when people ask, you gonna get married again? Especially those who knew the story of marriage number 2.
Right.
They were like, you would get married again?
Yes.
And the answer to that is twofold. One, like you said, I am a wife.
Yes, I am too.
You are a wife.
Although I'm a spoiled one. I'm a spoiled wife.
And a spoiled wife.
Yes, I am spoiled.
I'm sorry, after 5 kids, you deserve to be a spoiled wife, doggone.
Oh my goodness, am I spoiled? Sometimes I feel so, oh my goodness.
Well, let me tell you, here's the thing though, and there are women and there are wives. Mm-hmm. And I am a wife. The bottom line is, I believe you are a wife, because everybody is not meant for marriage. It's perfectly okay if you are happily single, mm-hmm. and you enjoy your space, your time, and being able to come go as you please and all of those things. I'm like thrilled. It's a wonderful space to be in.
I admire women like that.
I do.
I admire women who love
travel, and that freedom is an amazing, mm-hmm. amazing thing.
It's amazing. But there is nothing wrong with admitting to the fact that you love being a wife.
Exactly.
Nothing.
And you know what? You are a wife before you ever take anybody's last name. Being a wife does not have anything to do with taking somebody's last name. Because if you don't have the mindset and the attitude of a wife, mm-hmm. before you get married, watch out and get ready for some issues.
Yes.
See, when I got divorced that second time, for the very first time, I will be honest enough to say I did not have somebody waiting in the wings. Down through my dating life, the transition from one relationship to the other relationship was generally smooth. I was not a cheater, so don't nobody go there. I did not cheat on well, I was always loyal in my relationships.
I was going to ask you to clear that up.
Yeah, let me clear that up. It wasn't that.
So you didn't leave one man for another man.
And that is absolutely true. I've never left one man for another man. I always walked out of relationships based on the merits of that relationship.
Okay.
So I've never left one man for another man. Not in my whole entire life, dating from 15 years old all the way to 57.
Even your dating, you never did that?
I never did. I never was like, oh, I like him better.
I did.
Yeah. There's plenty who do. There's plenty who do. But I don't know. I've never had the mindset of greener grass someplace else. If the grass is brown over here, I'm leaving because the grass is brown over here.
Well, I went to one frog to another frog because I ain't like that frog.
Yeah,
so I went to
you can't eat warts now.
But I had daddy issues, so I had
too.
Serious rejection, daddy issues.
And for me, it was abandonment. Abandonment. And with that thought, that was why there was always, that one who was willing to wait in the wings, and wanted to step in as soon as bro man stepped out. But for the first time, I found myself getting divorced for the second time. And for the first time, there was nobody waiting in the wings. There was nobody who was like, hey, if anything should happen, give me a call. I had nobody to call. Wow. And it was a good thing. It was a very good thing. My pastor said, this is your opportunity to be still and spend time with God and figure out his love for you and what he wants for you.
Come on now.
So that was the key. And of course, we are God's hands and his eyes and his mouth and his feet. And so when my married couple of 32 years, you don't talk to people about someplace they've never been.
Yes.
You don't ask them to help you navigate where they have never been. Please stop taking advice from your bitter, angry girlfriends who tell you ain't no good men out here. See, I sit in them groups. And when that language starts, I go, whoa, sorry, that is not my testimony. No, there is no good men out here for you. Because I believe in the magnificence of men. I think that there are wonderful men everywhere of every age.
Yes,
I especially think that there's plenty of men out here 50 plus who got their stuff together, who are mature and want wonderful relationships.
Okay.
But if you energetically keep saying ain't no good men out here, all you ever going to attract is no good men.
I keep hearing women say, I can hear the women, I can see them on the chat saying now, where is they? Where are they?
Yes, where are they?
Where are they?
Okay, you know where they are? You know where they are?
Yes.
They are waiting for you to call them forth.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Draw. Can we go back to the beginning though? Like, okay, so 3 marriages. We have to talk about 3 marriages. This might be a part 3. Okay, because we already got only about 20 minutes left. And I can see us. This is definitely gonna have to be a 3-parter, girl. This is heavy. You've been married 3 times, Julie. We gotta have 3 parts.
We got 3 parts for 3 marriages.
Yes. So after the first marriage.
Yeah. So
this wonderful man that I know, your first husband,
who is to this very day my very best friend, who supported me in my current relationship.
He was at the wedding.
The wedding and the reception.
He was at the wedding Let me say it. Your first husband was at your wedding and your reception.
Yes, he is the father of all 4 of my children, and is one of the most brilliant men I've ever known. An amazing. The marriage may not have survived.
Yes,
but the friendship surely has, and the fact that he is family to me. He is more than, he's in a category all to himself.
He's an amazing man. I know him. I love him. I've known him for 30 years. I've watched him grow into this amazing man. Every time I see him, I get a little teary-eyed because he was your first. So he was like my first. He was like my first brother-in-law. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
and so when people go, so what's wrong with you? Okay. You know, when I was dating, when I was in that whole Match.com dating thing, and I went on one of these dates, and the guy said, so what's wrong with you? You can't stay married to nobody.
And why are you up here?
No. And look, and I said, you were married to a woman for, he said he was married to this woman for 34 years.
What?
And I said, you were married for 34 years. Why are you here sitting with me not married?
I'm telling you,
I asked him, what was the cause of the divorce? And this fool actually said, I don't know.
Oh, he knew.
He said, I don't know. I said, you sitting here with me talking about you don't know why your wife for 36 years wanted to divorce you. Why are you even bothering to ask me this question?
Girl, see, that's why. That's why right there.
Don't come.
That's why I couldn't do it. That's why I was like,
but it is, after we said all these glowing things, it is a legitimate question. And the answer to the question for me is, I chose a man. Because remember, we were talking about them daddy issues.
So we talking about your first husband.
I'm talking about my first husband.
Number one.
So
we're on husband number one.
We're on husband number one. Okay. I chose a man who would be the kind of father to my children that I always wanted, without regard to the kind of man he would be for me.
Come on now. Woo! That's heavy right there.
I did.
You were actually looking for a father to your children.
Yes.
And not really looking for a man for you.
Right. I wanted somebody that I knew would be to my children what I wished my father would have been to me.
Wow. You dropped some nuggets right there, because somebody needs to think about that today.
Yeah.
If that's where they are in their thinking.
Because it is an integral part in your thought process about the kind of man that you want to attract to yourself.
Yes.
See, as long as I wasn't healed from my father issues, I actually, down through the years, attracted very paternal relationships. I always preferred older men. I was dating 27, 28-year-olds when I was 17. I was well read. My mother was a teacher, so I read a lot of books. So even though I was 17, I could sit in groups of people 30 and way older than me and talk about things and not be treated as a child. And I wanted to go to the Kennedy Center. I wanted to eat, at Mr. K's and fancy restaurants and things like that. And I knew boys my age couldn't afford that. So I dated. So all of that is all reminiscent of father issues.
Looking for daddy.
Yeah. And it actually manifests itself into second marriage. Second marriage, the man only wanted to love on me. And the first thing I said was, forget about me, just love my kids.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Don't go to the second one yet. Let's go back to the first one a little bit. Don't move on, Dick. But that's a good connection. That's really good.
I'm just saying, I did the same thing twice, each time, because I was not important enough for anybody to have to concern themselves with me. Don't worry about me. Just love my kids. It started at 12 years old. Don't worry, Daddy, don't worry about coming to get me. Just come get my baby brother. Just come get him. That's where it started. So you got to know the root of a thing. When did I become unimportant? I became unimportant at 12 years old. I remember the conversation on the phone because my parents split when I was 10. And I was crying and begging my father, Daddy, please come get me. Daddy, please come get me. But there was this one day when I was 12 and I said, was talking to him on the phone. I said, okay, I know you don't want to be bothered with me. It's all right. You don't have to be bothered with me. I'll be okay. I'm a big girl. Just come get my brother. I was 12. He was 4. Just come get my brother.
You know, I may have done the same thing because I'm 9 years older than my brother. And his father was my stepfather because I never knew my father. But I never had a relationship. My alleged father
that
died.
Man was your daddy, and he in heaven so glad. Tell the truth, shame the devil. That was your daddy. Okay,
I'm gonna say alleged. My alleged father, he died.
I don't care how many.
He died 20 years ago when I was 40 years old.
We healed, y'all. We healed. We good.
Yeah, so we can talk about it. It's no problem.
We're good. Yes.
And some of his relatives are probably watching this. But anyway,
I'm in their face because that's my sister. She will not be denied.
Don't worry about it. They missed out. They missed out.
I'm holding back. Hold me back.
Hold you back. They missed out. It's okay. But I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about how that was one of my criteria for a husband. Be a great provider, father, ever present. Father. Ever present.
Yes.
My husband is a little bit more introverted than I am.
Yes.
And
y'all ought to see how he looks at her when she ain't looking. I was like, I want that. I want to know that that's what's happening when I'm not looking.
I love him so much.
As I started listing my criteria, okay, because we do. We try not to covet.
Right.
We try not to wish we had, and you know what? Never wish you had somebody else's man.
No,
because that man is designed for her.
Yes.
Just because he designed for her, don't mean that if he stepped away from her, that his design is going to work for you.
Well, you said a mouthful there.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about how, I wanted those same things.
Yeah.
In a husband, someone who would just be there for my children.
Yes.
Be ever present and be a great example of love and compassion and forgiveness. All those.
But you know what the difference is, Salentia, which I have always admired about you.
When you call my name, I get nervous when you say.
Because real talk, real talk. The thing that you did, and this is why you still married, right? The thing that I watched you do is you actually allow your husband to put you first and love on you and prioritize you, and I'm going to say it out loud, above the children. Because at the end of the day, one thing that your husband knows, and that because it goes both ways.
Yes.
Because hubby don't get to be upset about nothing. Let them kids do something to get hubby upset, and watch mama over there straighten everybody out in the house out, because daddy gets to be peaceful in his house.
Yes.
But so does mama, because the reality is this is what you taught me. The only permanent people to the house is you and your husband. The kids, if you rear them correctly, are designed to leave and launch. You got kids sitting in your house 30, 40 years old, or children who say, I never want to leave home. Wake up. Your rearing is flawed. Your kids should want to launch, leave home, and establish their own lives. Therefore, they don't get to be but so comfortable.
Yes. Yes, and they know they ready to go. Even the ones that's there.
That's what I'm saying. And my kids, I'm so proud of my children, because all of them wanted, they all want to roll, and they have. They all rolled out.
We rolling out.
They rolling out. All of them. You got one left. You got one left, but you prepared your children to launch, and it's so, ladies 50 plus. Now I'm really talking about us Titus 2 older women. Launch your kids, and let's start talking about how you relaunch your life.
Well, we're working on that, and that's a whole.
We're working on it. That's what Beauty Is My Name is all about. It is really about
working on that one, girl.
That's what we're working on, and it is funny because
they got to go. So good. They got to go. Can I just say they got to go? They got.
I want my child. If all 4 kids had said, "Mom, we don't ever want to leave home," I'd have just bought a bigger house to accommodate everybody.
Yes, but not
the exact opposite. She's like, "Girl, you better get them kids."
But the thing is that I always wanted a home that my children could come to and be peaceful.
Yes,
while they were preparing for their future.
Right. And also come home, recover, but be prepared to launch back out. But we're off subject. We talking about marriage.
We sure are. We talking about marriage.
The key is what you really taught me, because again, I got this wrong through 2 marriages. Mm-hmm. And that was because I did not realize my importance in the equation.
Yes.
I really felt like in the equation of life that I was not the priority.
Woo.
That's the real talk.
It took me a minute too. Even though I was married, I was holding on to God's unchanging hand, because it just took me a minute to understand that I deserve to have some joy in my life.
Yes.
You know, and not be one of those warrior women who worry all the time.
Worry. Yeah.
Because I just feel like somewhere along the way, I was exposed to women who did a lot of worrying.
Yeah, and that is kind of what happened. Mm-hmm. I started because my tank wasn't being filled, and not because he was a bad dude.
Right.
I didn't ask. I didn't insist. I didn't pursue anything that was really important, that fueled me, that built my soul, that built my heart, that made me be a better me.
And do you feel like you were trying to get something out of him that he wasn't able to give you?
Yeah, I was trying to earn love. I was trying to earn the love. Look at me. I'm pretty. Don't you love me now? Oh, I can cook. Don't you love me now? Oh, look at what a good mom I am. Don't you love me now? Just begging, and listing qualifications as to why somebody ought to love me. And never understanding, as I watched other women with really nice men who were like not nice people, who were not necessarily attractive people. And yet these guys just loved their dirty drawers in the ground that they dropped them on. It was like,
not the ground.
It was like, how is that? What in the world? And then I realized, if somebody is going to love you, they gonna love you. And it don't matter what you look like or what you do. If somebody decides, because it's the other person's decision to love you.
Absolutely.
And then it's your decision to love you.
Woo! Now that right there, it's your decision to love you.
Your decision.
You have to love you.
Yeah. And that was one of the, I was telling now back to my current husband, and he laughed. I said, among most of my girlfriends, I'm the sidekick. And he's like, get out of town. And I'm like, yeah. I said, I'm the sidekick. I said, because I'm blessed to have these present company included. I am blessed to have these girlfriends that enter a room and command the space. They walk in, and there's a dynamism that happens with them where, this is in my single life, and I'm sitting there, and men, they sent drinks to the table, and then they came to the table. They came to the table for them. And you know, my girl, we all secure about ourselves. I don't hang around petty, silly women, and you know, it gets on my nerves, you know. But so I'm clear on who I am and how I look and how I present, and I don't need to be the center of attention in a room. And so it's cool. I actually find it cool because they have this dynamism that just draws in, and I benefit from it because when they approach the table, if a drink is sent, it's sent for her and for me, because that's the level that we at. Okay. So, you know, but my guy was like, how in the world is that even true? And I realized it is true because every one of them, the common thread, though they're very different personalities, all of them love who they are. All of them enjoy who they are. They know that they're kind and that they're, I'm not talking about attitude, arrogant, I'm the stuff, and all this surface nonsense full of makeup and hair weave, but you all ugly on the inside. These are sisters who raised their kids, who were good to their husbands, who were dynamic business women, who had a heart that every single time I ever had a problem in my life, they were boots on the ground, got your back. What do you need?
Yes.
Love God, love their church. So I'm talking about real, for real women, not surface nonsense, but women who are incredible and they like who they are. And when they stepped into the room, the hair, the clothes, the makeup expressed what they really felt about themselves inside. It was not a cover up.
Is that why I'm wearing purple and sparkly stuff?
Because you know what? Because you are just living, breathing, walking color. That's what you are. That's how you are from 10th grade to this very moment. It has never been different. Salentia M is a manifester. She's not just a motivator, she's a manifester. And so I have watched her think of a thing, and it is so. And because of that, that's why we're sitting here now extracting all this beauty from these ashes that have occurred. And she is part of the reason, she is part of my tribe, that I am healed. And so coming out of that first marriage, I had not discovered myself. I had not discovered myself. I was still in that mode of, okay, because now, you know, I was 123 pounds wearing cat suits and bolero jackets when I met husband number one. Hair midway to my back, no weave, got pictures, got the receipts, and was on stage, on television, and doing the thing. Now it's 20 years later. I'm 75 pounds heavier. Got stretch marks, cellulite, sagging breasts, and 4 kids in tow. And was being told statistically that it was more likely I'd get hit by a bullet from Beirut across the ocean than run into a man that would want me.
Wow.
And here I am in this whole new image. And so what happens? Someone comes along who says, I don't care about any of that. I just love you. I've loved you since you were 12 years old.
Oh my goodness. Listen, let's not go all the way to number 3. Let's okay, number 2. We're going to go to number 2, but let's make a point about number 1. Yes. So when you were in that marriage, that first marriage, you were basically looking for a daddy for your children.
Yes, a good father. Yes.
A good father.
I wanted to give them what I did not have.
So you had all your children, 4 children with your first husband.
Yes, all 4 from one man. We were a team. We worked together the first 10 years.
How old were you when you married him?
Got married had our first child at 29.
Okay. Now you waited a minute.
My goal was 25, but
yes,
we make plans and God laughs.
And so both of you have, I can assume that he's had a lot of growth spurts since then too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not going to put down 20-year-olds, but when you in your 20s
And he's 3 years younger. So yeah, so he did come in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's 3. I always dated older. I dated older men, like I said, from 17 years old all the way, and then married somebody 3 years younger.
Okay, I'm not. That's okay. That's I didn't know that. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, in fairness, so you're talking about a young man, 25, barely 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the struggle back then was real. Another story for the Beauty Is My Name podcast, but the struggle was real. And we, came into the struggle not really knowing each other.
Right.
Not really. We had not been in relationship long before I found myself pregnant.
Right.
And he was that dude. He had said, I was gonna marry you anyway. I mean, he was and because, see, I had not had that kind of power and protection. He said, I was going to marry you anyway. You were going to be the mother of my children anyway.
Oh, that must have sounded good to you.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, my God.
What? You defending me? What?
And this was because of something that you needed.
Yeah. This is what I needed
because of your father, because of your
because he never defended
your abandonment issues that you
had. I can remember like the first 2 years we were married, the slightest criticism, the slightest thing he say, I'm like, what? What's it? Huh? He's like, put your hands down. Or after an argument, so you leaving now, right? So now you're gonna leave.
Oh,
what?
Yeah. So that's the first thing you probably need to check if you're single.
Yeah.
You got to check out that father background.
Yeah.
Check that history.
Check that out. Because truthfully, I will be honest with you. I know you're not, but even in the dating cycle of this marriage, the minute he and I had our first disagreement, I said, so this, now I'm not emotional about it anymore because I'm jaded, right? So I said, okay, so is this where this is where it happens now? And he said, where what happens? I said, because I got a mouth. I ain't gonna fight you physically, but by the time I finish with my tongue, you probably in a corner bleeding and shivering somewhere. And so my mouth is what always gets me in trouble. And so I said, and so now I done said some stuff because I'm mad. I'm from Southeast DC, and it comes out. And so I said, okay, so this is that part, right? And he was like, what part? I said, so this is the part where you say this isn't working out and you walk away. And he looked at me confused, like, no, we're having a disagreement. And then he looked at me, and this is what he said, key thing, switch men.
Woo! This was your third husband.
Yes. This is my hubby now. Switch men. Now.
He said, "Switch men."
Switch men.
Well, you got a wise one. That one right there. I'm not ready, but we got to throw him in there every now and then because he really does make a difference in your life.
Oh no. Okay, so back to husband number one. Yes. He's the one that actually kept this thing going for me to get to this one. Husband number one actually said, "This is the one you have been looking for your whole life."
Wow, that's really something. He really matured.
He did. Well, one of the things about him that I will say is, and this is we were so opposite, but one of the commonalities was we each wanted the other one to be happy, even if we weren't the ones providing the happiness.
Yeah. Sounds like y'all became friends too, in a sense. Yeah,
we were, because like I said, everything worked except the marriage part. And that was in part due. Yeah, he had stuff he had to work on, but I have to own my stuff. And my part was,
say that again.
I have to own my part.
You gotta own your stuff, because I have lost friends over people not wanting, when I tell them, what about you? And they go, you my girl, what do you mean?
You're supposed to be on my side. If I'm truly on your side, I'm going to help you own your stuff.
Yes, I'm on your side. I want you to own your stuff so we can get on to the next.
And get to the higher level.
Get on to the higher level.
The Bible says, I counted a blessing when a righteous man struck me upon the cheek. And that means, and so it's like, if you don't have a friend who will shake your shoulders every once in a while, you don't have a true friend.
Absolutely.
And that's why Salentia M is my true friend, because she will shake me, and she ain't the only one. I keep a tribe of those who don't sit around criticizing me. There's a difference.
Right.
My tribe sandwiches correction with 2 layers of love.
And sometimes it's just a matter of saying, saying, well, what do you think about this?
Yeah. Oh, my favorite with you, absolute favorite with you.
What is it?
When it comes to helping me understand my value, you go, why you act like an ugly girl?
Don't tell people I say that. When I say ugly, I mean inside. No.
Yeah. Why you act like an ugly girl?
I mean,
because again, I'm not, when you think about the word ugly and ugly girl, it really, we didn't watch way too many movies of ugly duckling turned swan stories.
Right.
Which means that the beautiful person was there all along.
Yes.
They just covered it up. They didn't let it, either they covered it up or they didn't let it come forward.
Or the ugly girl was there and she was covered up.
Right. The true ugly, which is the ugly heart. Yeah.
Yes.
Now the true ugly.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Up looking fabulous.
Yes.
You had that ugly heart. But so when Salentia said, why you act like an ugly girl? Meaning, why are you acting like a person who does not realize your beauty and your value?
Yes. Thank you for clearing that
out of it.
Thank you for clearing that up, because that's like a little thing we have going on. And I want people to understand that I'm not calling nobody.
You know what? That I'm gonna say that for those who are sitting around devaluing yourself.
Yes.
And acting like you're less, and really thinking that, and really thinking that, stop acting like an ugly girl. It's not.
Yes.
Stop it. But you know why? Because there's no such thing as an ugly girl.
No, come on now.
The only ugly girls that exist are the ugly at heart.
Beauty for ashes.
You gonna be beauty or you gonna be ashes? You gonna be better or you gonna be bitter? Which one are you gonna be? And so my good friend was like, girl, if you don't live up to this appearance that you are giving, where you assess your value in such a way. And what she meant was, why are you letting someone else treat you like less than how wonderful you are?
That's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
And that's husband number 2.
Yeah. You don't know, because that moves into husband number 2. Yeah. That was the fight. That was, you don't know your value until you have to fight for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one. I can say, that was survival. Mm-hmm. That was I escaped narcissism. Oh my goodness. But in the space of it, I proved my capability that when the chips were down, that I could by myself take care of my children and take care of myself, because I had to, because I wasn't getting any help.
Take care of who? No,
yeah, right.
You say
okay.
Yeah.
And see, people will oftentimes look at the fact, you could be articulate, you could, you have all these working qualities, and you never know what's going on behind them closed doors.
You never know.
You never, ever, ever wish you was somebody else or in somebody else's shoes, because, child, there is clarity. And by the by, with all of what happened in marriage number 2, I am grateful for the experience, pain though it was. I wish him no ill will. I pray for him on a regular basis, and I actually check on him from time to time. You all right?
Yes. Can we go back for a second?
In total forgiveness. Again, healing. Yes.
Yes, total forgiveness.
Yes.
Yes. We're going to go back to forgiveness too. We're going to talk about that. Yes. But I want to say something. I want you to speak on this. Where were you spiritually, mentally, everything? Because I'm thinking about, I know the story of how you two got together.
Who is this?
About your second husband.
Yes.
And because when you told me the story about how y'all talked on the phone and then you drove up and you met him at his job and all of that.
Yeah.
How I'm thinking while you're telling me this, okay, maybe it's something I'm not seeing here, but this sounds like, I don't know. It just didn't sound right to me.
So, okay.
So where were you between 1 and 2?
So in marriage number 1, what I actually learned was the art of improvise and compromise, because we were so opposite in personalities. I like every kind of food, want to try everything. I love every kind of food except spicy.
Me too.
Chicken and broccoli. I like smooth, soft jazz. He liked staccato jazz. So it was a continuous, like learning my man and just accepting him how he was and letting go of things I wanted to do and be. With this one, it was a whole experience of mutuality.
Got you.
So when we started talking on the phone, we like the same food. We like the same music. Okay, y'all, I enjoy a cigar. Y'all seen the Facebooks and stuff, but I enjoy a good cigar and a good glass of whiskey for every once in a while. And yes,
you bad.
I'm an herbalist and all of that stuff. And yes, I don't do it every day, but I do enjoy a good cigar and some whiskey every once.
Yes, she does.
So he and I, we laughed at the same stuff. We both love to dance. We both love the same foods and to go to the same place. And in the beginning, because in a narcissistic relationship, the first thing that happens is love bombing. So in the beginning, it was just total immersion in, I've got this great playmate that likes what I like, that wants to do what I want to do, that, that just, doesn't want to do anything but be with me, because I had this false impression that if the man that loves me wants to be with me 24/7 togetherness. Well, I've always been an entrepreneur, so my fantasy was we gonna do business together, so we'll work together all day, and then we'll party together at night, and then we'll have crazy, ridiculous sex when we come home from the party, and in the middle of that, we're gonna have a bunch of kids, and we're gonna parent the kids, and we are just together 24/7. I was insane. So I attracted a person that would enjoy the insanity with me.
Okay, stop right there, because that's the end of part 2. That is the end of part 2 right there. We got to talk about the love bombing.
Yeah.
The person who contracted the insanity with you, because that is so funny, because when I saw the two of you together, it was like, I'm like, they like this couple that just like, you can't pull them apart, where he goes, she goes, da 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 da, and they were just like all the time. And I'm thinking, I wonder if there's something really going on that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, and there was.
So I gotta wrap it up there, because I got to throw some more fairy dust in like you say, on these children, because the Big Dreams Project is coming in for their rehearsal. We're getting ready for Black History Month. So, I'm excited about that. But I'm telling you, this is so good. This is some good stuff, girl.
And guys, listen, for those of you who have been so kind to join us here.
Yes.
On Beauty for Ashes. Just know that the coming soon is Beauty is My Name podcast, where I'm going to be diving a little bit deeper into, because my very first podcast with Beauty is My Name is going to be on love. It's going to be on love and all different aspects of how love comes together, or and how I found it. And in part 3, I can tell you, because I told you I started to gain clarity, and I want to share my journal with you. Write the vision, make it plain.
Yes,
that's the part 3. But if you have any questions or you want to contribute to this conversation, don't hesitate. Shoot me an email. I'm old school, y'all. Okay, I'm old school. Drop me a DM. All right, that's good too. Type in the chat. That's good too. But so that you know for sure, if you got something burning in you, you have a question that we can talk about and answer. I would love, love, love for you to help me with this and help Salentia and I talk about stuff that you actually want to know about.
Yeah.
When we came off on the first part, we started getting all of these DMs and comments like keep talking.
Yes. So tomorrow we're gonna finish part 3 tomorrow.
We can't. No, we're not gonna be able to do it tomorrow.
That's right. Let's do it next week.
Next week we're gonna have to do it next week unless we can record something later tonight.
Well, we'll give people a chance to digest all of this.
Yeah, because this was a lot.
We've gone.
Reach out to me at AskJulie@beautyismyname.com. Just shoot me an email.
Okay, but we've got to go we went from the first husband to the second husband.
Yes, so
we got to get to the second husband to the third husband. Okay, because that's some good stuff. I was there for all 3, so I know there's some good stuff. Girl, I am so proud of you for being so transparent and sharing and helping other women get free. So younger women, older women, we just all gonna get free here. Somebody gonna get freed up.
And we have to. Yes. Especially your 50 plus women. I'm so talking to you. We got to get it together, because how are we going to reach back and grab these babies and take them into motherhood and being wives and all of these, and being the powerful women that we know that they can be, them Proverbs 31:10 women that we know that they can be. We have to be better. We cannot be bitter. And so we have to know. Beauty is your name. Beauty is my name.
I can't wait for our conference next year. Y'all know it's coming, right?
Yes, indeed. It's coming.
We having a conference next year.
We're having a conference next year. Yes, we are. Get ready.
2025, get ready. God willing, let us do this, because we're going to meet in person in Washington, D.C. We want to meet in person in Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be, I just want to, oh my goodness. We're going to have something for the married couples. We're going to have something for the singles. I'm excited.
So did y'all hear the manifestor talking? Did you hear that? And she was sprinkle fairy dust on that thing. Watch it happen.
I'm gonna sprinkle some Jesus juice on it.
Yes, indeed. I'll sprinkle the dust and then water it with the Jesus juice. Okay.
I gotta go.
Wait
a minute. I gotta go. What I need you to do, Julie, is let me know what day, and we can post it, that we're going to meet next week and go on with husband number 3.
Husband number two on the next episode of Beauty for Ashes with
move on
Jay and Salentia M. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
Love you, girl.
Love you back.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.